Questions about your right to freedom of speech. A group of 3 would-be tour guides filed lawsuits against the city of Charleston. They say this stringent licensing process barred them from giving tours and sharing history with visitors. News 2's investigator Rebecca Collette is live in downtown Charleston, where that debate began today. Rebecca, you've been digging for information about the licensing process that's now come under fire. Give us an idea of what you found out.
Good evening, Carolyn. What I found is there are 554 licensed tour guides in the city. You have to be licensed to give a tour that someone's paying you for. Well, some people say it's not cheap, it's not easy, and it's unconstitutional.
Not licensed guides. We're just
Charleston's history took a backseat to the debate of licensing city tour guides.
There's no tour guide exception to the First Amendment.
Thursday, the Institute for Justice lawyers filed a lawsuit representing these 3 tour guides against the city's process of licensing guides. They say it treads on their right to freedom of speech.
It was like a gauntlet I had to jump through.
This is the study guide, nearly 500 pages of Charleston's history. But after studying for 6 weeks, Michael Nolan failed the test, but he planned to open a bike tour business.
Or the government doesn't get to tell you what you can say.
Right now, when you come downtown Charleston to take a tour on one of these, the tour guides have already taken a 2-hour written test plus an oral exam to get their license.
Bill Tyner studied for 2.5 years before passing the test.
The license is very important. Make sure that we're all telling the same thing and historically accurate. It's very important to have the license.
It's a protection for the consumer. It's also a protection for the integrity of our intelligence and also of the history of our country.
How can you be sure that consumers are protected?
Consumers are listeners, and in this country we rely on listeners to decide who to listen to, not the government.
Mike and Brenda Foster picked their tour guide from online reviews.
The reviews online, she got very high reviews, and she was excellent, very, very good.
Yeah, we've been on many tours, and hers was probably the best we've ever been on.
But they still like the security that the guides have been vetted by the city they represent.
Well, there's so many occupations where you have to be licensed, hairdressers and everything else. If that's their way of making a living, I don't really see the difference in being.
I also spoke with the city today. They say this ordinance has been around since the 1950s, and it's really in place to protect people who come here and pay for tours. They want to make sure that those people are getting accurate information about the history of our holy city. As for how hard it is to pass the test, I asked about a pass-fail rate. Well, here's what I found out. Last year, 115 people took the test. 59 passed, 56 failed. Rebecca Collette, News 2.
All right, very interesting numbers. Rebecca, thank you. If you have something you want investigated, contact the News 2 I-Team by emailing iteam@wcbd.com or by calling us at 843-216-4949.